get this on. Let me get this on. First star, I'm really that nigga. Truth be told, I'm a noble figure. Local niggas, they be so offended. White West world, it's global business.
Hold on. Let me ask y'all a question. All y'all niggas in the same school and all that? Hell, fuck yeah. So.
Let me get this on. Let me get this on. First star, I'm really that nigga. Truth be told, I'm a noble figure. Local niggas, they be so offended. White West world, it's global business.
Hold on. Let me ask y'all a question. All y'all niggas in the same school and all that? Hell, fuck yeah. So none of y'all niggas smoke weed? Fuck no.
Don't fall. White West world, it's global business.
Hold on. Let me ask y'all a question. All y'all niggas in the same school and all that? Hell, fuck yeah. So none of y'all niggas smoke weed? Fuck no.
Don't fold if you say you win it. I was voted to it, now I'm it. Can't control, just the highest limit. Killing shit, but just an honest living. Gotta get it, ain't no time for wishing. The time is now, better pay attention. In my city, you can feel the tension. A terror squad, no pun intended. This ain't for you, but I recommend it. They know we coming, better clear the entrance. Shit get deep, but I keep digging. This how I look when you keep winning. Overtime, I had to take the hint. Shine bright, sit behind the six. 1-on-1, I ain't in the mix. Ain't what you thought, better get a glimpse. Came up from a pedal bike. Pressing brakes, I ain't never liked. Whole time I was taking risks. They don't play with me cause they know I'm going nice. Round form, I ain't even started. Transform, I ain't here to bargain. You on watch, better move with caution. Chains on me, I don't do this often. No error, this shit flawless. Reach for it, you become a target. It ain't worth it, better keep walking. All I know is survival. All this fashion is tribal. Want the head of my rival. This about to go viral. I say the word, then it's final. To get the moving like Brian told. I'm just living my title. Do this shit with my eyes closed. All I know is survival. All this fashion is tribal. Want the head of my rival. It's about to go viral. Say the word, then it's final. Get the moving like Brian told. I'm just living my title. Do this shit with my eyes closed. I wanna hear all that street shit. Me and my niggas on defense. Wonder who I was in my past life. Don't even matter, that peep this. Remember the days when I was a trooper. Stay on the path and it won't confuse you. Bars all, I'm the one to do it. I roll on eights like a flight maneuver. Try to trick me, I ain't never moving. Camouflage, I can blend into it. They better ride, I don't do the Ubers. Let them talk, I don't hear the rumors. A little suffer ain't really nothing. The way I'm stomping, better play the trumpet. You see me coming, better get the running. If they see me coming, better get the running. You ain't never seen it, you ain't never witnessed, you ain't never noticed, you ain't never focused. I was really waiting. Was really training, sick and tired of being patient. I ain't never doubted, this was in the making. Use what I got, not in the wasted. But rapping and singing could never drink it. But I'm from the bottom, so I gotta make it. This ain't rapping, it's a damn warning. Late night to the early morning. Got a vision, I planned it out. Try to stop me, but I kept going. I study plays, now I'm in the game, and it's all the same, but I had to change. You'll never crash if you in your lane. I could take the law, cause it's all a game.
Yo, when Casamigos being drunk?
All I know is survival. All this fashion is tribal. Want the head of my rival. This about to go viral. Say the word, then it's final. To get the moving like Pronto. I'm just living my title. Do this shit with my eyes closed. All I know is survival. All this fashion is tribal. Want the head of my rival. It's about to go viral. Say the word, then it's final. Get the moving like Pronto. I'm just living my title. Do this shit with my eyes closed.
Hold on. Be careful, you hear me? Be careful. Watch your damn feet. You hear me? You ain't no Christians out here. Watch yourself when something happen to you out there. Watch yourself.
Trying just to crash out. Wet full of crash dumps. 10 racks in the wheel. That was on gas money. Chopper got a round of applause if they act funny. I be here, you're not with a crown, but I'm still hungry. Never was the type to be a light. Let's get the business straight. I pray you niggas get me cross the line, then we demonstrate. I ain't even wanna rap, but damn, we could use the bag. Talking about how I used to be that boy that was was in the past. Played the cut, jumped up in my bag. Let's see who gon' last. See the snakes, and you let it slide, you ain't cut the grass. If we can't be friends, then fuck it, let's be enemies. Niggas weird, catching attitudes, bitch, tendencies. They say they looking for me, I'm in the mix, where the winners mix. Playmaker, trying to get a sack, different energy. I don't like it, and you see why. I'm launching like Eli. The world on my back with 2 clips in my Levi's. Steady sitting high, I can tell you where the angels live. I don't give a fuck of who you are, I feel like David did. Story ain't nothing shorter than glory, man, I came to win. All my life I knew I was something special, they hated it. Pressure bust pipes, I hold it down like an anchor. Never see myself as a regular, I had to change up. Shout out to the powers above that show me the ropes. With the same rope, I hate this rap shit by the throat. Don't ever get me involved with the he say, the she say. Cause I'ma think none of y'all official, then I press play. Living by law, by a code, by a structure. Niggas think they swift until the hawk meet the hunter. I owe this to the Lord and I put that on my cover. Never try my honor, father, never switch up on my brothers. Never try to imitate, eliminate anything that's in the way. Reciprocate, you draw, we gon' illustrate. Let's demonstrate, you lost, we gon' celebrate, you featherweight. I can't even resonate, I separate myself and I got activated. They was fascinated, how I broke it down and renovated. I was underestimated, clearly.
One Westboro.
You already know what it is.
I mean, you ain't gotta pay no price to buy no corners. Since when do we buy corners? We take corners.
Man, you won't buy one way or another.
What is it, the bodies we don't lost, or you're gonna lose?
Time in the joint is behind us or ahead of us. I mean, you gonna get some shit in this game, but it ain't shit for free. I mean, how many corners do they need? How much money can a nigga make?
More than a nigga can spend.
And then we ain't gonna be around to spend what we done made already.
Shit, I think I can be alone this long.
Yeah. Well, we here.
Yeah. I know a nigga murked his own man cause he was fucking on his bitch. He got booked, now she's sick. She out here sucking all these. Told my young boy to chill cause he was hitting all these licks. Now he resisted, now we 6 feet. He was thinking with his dick. Better hearken, young man. I'm dropping gems, they call me old school. Gon' fed on the gram and who you shot and who you gon' shoot. 600-page indictment, nigga, what you gon' do? Up top, what them life is, you don't fight, all you do is shoot. I know them crackers mad as hell because they wanna see us dead. Plotting our demise, holding counsel just to stay ahead. This one was, this forever. We gon' paint them nations red. If you not under this banner, then you all dudes mad. Man, I'm from the trenches, they ain't know it, show us love. All we know is extensions in the way you throw a slug. We done made a move on you and we don't care who it was. On the gram, I saw my youngest send a nigga up above. You would've thought me and the squad was fatigue, how we run shit. Better yet, that saw block. Better yet, that saw strip. My general said if it's not one West, then it's not legit. Fuck every cracker, go to their grave and go and take a piss. Mama, I'm the Israel, I'm pulling strings like Santana. Gotta peep the blitz because in that mix it get bananas. I adapted to it. Right before the skis and went bandanas. I'm the big bad wolf, come down your chimney like I'm Santa. Pussy niggas said that they was going slop, but they ain't do shit. Got a couple hammers in the rod, don't make me bang shit. Got a couple crackers on my mind, I'm trying to hang shit. Yeah, I'm in the field, I'm still pissed about the slave ships. Daniela got some big shit to make a rain flip. This pump turn you to an acrobat with these backflips. Mom said 12s at you questions, but not say shit. Mom said those neighbors at you questions, but not say shit. I'm true to this, ask your old head, I ain't new to this, I'm too legit. There's one West world and we running this, I'm gunning it. Advise every cracker to be intelligent, irrelevant. For all them fake cans that we ain't marching with. This clip that I got like holy water, I'm trying to throw it on you. You pledge your allegiance to them snakes, they turn for you on you. Pillhead / crash dumps, I keep it real with you. You told me you don't trust none of them niggas and that's a real issue. I don't give a fuck, you wantin' beef for what you all did. That before they signed the same words that Paul said. Clip full of racist motherfuckers, it got bald heads. This shit that I got dumping at your ears like some skull heads. Why you trying to claim the same right that your man's dead? Y'all was sign lacking main reasons why your guys dead. Always gotta keep one in their head before I go to bed. Fuck a DJ Khaled, this one West, this what God did, nigga. One West world.
Nah, we coming, nigga. Not tripping. Tighten the fuck up, you heard?
If your business kept on employees through the pandemic, innovation refunds can.
Hey, Shalom, Lord Christ. Where y'all at? Let me see y'all on the screen real quick.
Shalom, sir. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah.
All right. Everybody good?
Khan.
Y'all ready for class?
Khan. You want me to play one more song?
Yeah, let me get one more in, and then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, everybody, get your questions together, and we'll start the class after this one. What you got? What you got on cue?
I gotta look. I gotta get it. We want. I'm trying to. I was looking for that Florida. You know what I mean? I just get me together, dog. Shit.
Yeah, I like man.
Nothing but that Florida style. That's what I wanted.
All right, y'all get on in here. Make sure y'all got some questions. You know what I'm saying? We're going to play one more song, and then we'll go ahead and start the class, all right?
Listen. How many finger guns you gonna aim at me? We all get the point, you a shooter, that's the apogee. You surgical remover of life, that's hysterectomy. At me, I don't see this as a test, don't start correcting me. It's fallacies. Most of us can only see disclosure generalities. When niggas say it's up, all I can think about is gravity. It's gotta be there. So
hey, yo,
I just going underground. Patiently waiting. I see
you got it playing on the YouTube, and you got it playing. It's doing
and I ain't trying to prolong, but these images you project and keep us singing the sad songs. The love of money is the root of all evil. So every time you draw us for blood, like a needle, I just have to paint the picture. So I definitely need an easel so you can see deceptions and the depth of all perceptions, misdirections, the tricks to keep you put behind bars. Cause a lion won't be a king if he don't fight through the scars. Say that I can feel your pain like you poke voodoo dolls, and putting our hands on y'all will not further the cause. Pause. Systematic oppression in the dissection keeps us in the circle of circumspection for our protection. And because of our complexion, no power, no connection, they will question your honor while we stand in objection. How many finger guns you gonna aim at me? We all get the point, you a shooter, that is the apogee. Your surgical remover of life, that's hysterectomy. AB, I don't see this as a test, don't start correcting me. How many finger guns you gonna aim at me? We all get the point, you a shooter, that is the apogee. Your surgical remover of life, that's hysterectomy. AB, I don't see this as a test, don't start correcting me. If I was you, I see why you be mad at me. Inherited the pedigree, school of practicality, focused on reality, illuminating tragedy. No time to be coy, you niggas murderers, revenge bring us tears of joy. Fresh broad red strokes of infrared beams, symbolisms you learn while enforcing the catechism. You claim to love your people, but champions of division, creating your own isms, thus makes you a schism. No matter how you slice it, it's like you hit a lick but couldn't determine what the price is. Pointing finger guns because death is what suffices. Freely a shooter but yet a slave to these devices. I'm just speaking real. How many of us traumatized for you to rise? Guess you aiming for the Pulitzer Prize that's in the sky. Hope it's worth the sacrifice of your brothers and all the mothers that cry because you felt like your people were fit to die. How many finger guns you gonna aim at me? We all get the point, you a shooter, that is the apogee. Your surgical remover of life, that's hysterectomy. AB, I don't see this as a test, don't start correcting me. How many finger guns you gonna aim at me? We all get the point, you a shooter, that is the apogee. Your surgical remover of life, that's hysterectomy. AB, I don't see this as a test, don't start correcting me. Yeah.
Chicago faces an epidemic of gun violence. This year alone, more than 2,100 people have been shot, more than 400 killed.
The U.S. has recorded its highest increase in rates of homicide in modern history.
I know people who can't walk from their house to the store without a gun on them.
Why is that a reality? Why do people feel like they have to
have a gun on them?
People getting killed left and right. It's sad.
I got shot twice now. I could have been gone, but I'm still here, so that's God. I know that's what. So this hell on earth.
It's hell on earth?
Yeah, it's hell on earth.
All right, we good to go? Y'all ready? Y'all ready to teach some class?
Yes, sir.
All right, Most High in Christ. Shalom, Israel, the Israelite school, the universe. Make me big, Isupk. Make me big. I want to be colossal. I want to be a giant.
Sound Lil Wayne, sir.
Yeah, I know. All right, let me fix the headpiece real quick. All right. It's the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, back in 1969. We under commanding General Yohana, not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. All right. It's down since 1969. We've been teaching the truth about the Bible, and that one is that the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of, and the other one is that blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians are the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. All right.
That's right.
And in order to get out of what we in right now, the hell that we're going through, you heard the brother say on the thing that this is hell on earth. In order to get out of this hell, there's only one way to do it. There's one way, there's one truth, there's one light, and that is through our King Yahweh Shah, who gave his life in order for you to have an opportunity to come back into the fold and be the Lord's chosen people again. All right. You did everything you can to be disconnected from the Most High. You broke every covenant he gave you. You broke all the laws. You serve other gods. You serve idols. You've done all the things wrong. And the Lord's mercy is the reason why you have an opportunity to come back and to be a part of what he got going on. And he had promised you land, inheritance, rulership, and all of that. But you ain't going to get none of it unless you change your life, come in here and learn how to serve God. Serving God is different for every single man. The things that is required for me to enter into the kingdom is not the same thing. Now, the one thing that is required is that we believe on the power that the Lord put in his son, Yahweh Shai, and that we follow and imitate him to the best of our ability. All right? And that we keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, and that we do what he had prescribed for us in order for him to raise us up as a nation. All right, I see y'all put your questions in the chat. We're going to do our best to go ahead and find it and get you the answers. I definitely love classes where people are asking questions. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and get it. You got any questions over there at headquarters? I'm talking about headquarters for Florida. I'm not talking about New York, just so nobody. New York, Jerusalem is our headquarters for school. All right. When I'm saying headquarters, we got a building. We have a building. Y'all know we got a building in Florida, right? All right. We have a building in Florida where we have classes where we're able to do what we want. It's a sanctuary in the midst of hell. Listen to me. A sanctuary in the midst of hell, the Lord has prescribed for us to be there and reach out to the troops. Y'all ever down in West Palm Beach, in Boynton Beach, in the Raw, go on by there. It's on Avenue E. You'll see the Yahweh Shah picture on the front of the school. Stop by there, greet the brothers, you know what I'm saying? Get with them. We there every day, pretty much, except Sunday. From what I understand, maybe sometimes on Thursday, but yeah, we got class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Friday is the Lashawan Quadah. Saturday is a Sabbath service. Up here in Florida, in Jacksonville, we got class every Monday night. Right now, I'm 103rd Library. Make sure y'all coming out to these classes, brothers, is taking time to be here to teach you, and you should be in the building. This is the Israelite school,
You ain't in the school if you ain't in class. Let me just say that. This is a mandatory class that was prescribed by our captain, Shawar Yala, to make sure that we all come together. That's why you see me up in Jacksonville linking up with the brothers down here. So we ain't got three different things going on. We're going to do it. What they doing, I'm doing, vice versa. All right. Wish I could be down there with y'all brothers every Monday, though, to be honest with you. Or y'all could be up here. That's a whole nother story. Anyways, y'all got any questions there at the school?
Khan, sir.
All right, what we got?
Hey, shalom, sir. It's young man Lewis here. My question is in Exodus 21, from 1 to 5. And then I just wanted to ask, a follow-up question about, about Rachel and Leah.
What's the question?
My question is in Exodus 21 and from 1 to 5 is, when a servant, go work for a master, right? And he gets children, the master gives him a wife, and he begets children from that woman. So if he leaves, right, the children and the woman still belongs to the master. So my question is, when Leah and Rachel gave Bilhah and Zilpah to Jacob to beget children from them, were those children at that time also considered, the children? It's Leah and Rachel's children because, they were servants to the two sisters.
All right, what's your follow-up to that?
No, that was the whole entire question.
All right. Any other questions there?
La, sir.
All right. We also got the two witnesses, right? Brother got a question. He had asked about the two witnesses in Revelations. I'm gonna have to go through it. I don't know if I asked that question. Hey, Itazal, the night General Muhammad did his class, the week of the Passover, that Friday night, did you catch the answer to your question that we wasn't able to get? I asked that question in that class.
La, sir.
All right, it's the first question that was asked that particular night. You can go back to it. If you want to just get with me after class, we can ask it. I don't know if you remember what it was about, but I think it was I can't remember which one, but where it's talking about unto us a child is born. Before that, it was talking about a war or something like that. But anyways, yeah, go and check that out. That video, I asked that question. It's the first question that's asked. I wanted to make sure I got back to you on that. Amar, I don't think I asked that question of who those witnesses, the two witnesses is. I think what he talking about is the one in the shop where we was talking about the northern and southern kingdom was the two witnesses. I was supposed to double check on that. I don't think I did. Yeah, I'm getting a little feedback too. I don't know who off mic, off mute. Who we got here? Who we got here down there in that box down there? Who that is?
Young man Lewis.
All right, he had. Oh, it looked like he had a stove, man. He at the school.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, who that is? They had the slavery in class. I'm trying. Niggas is selling shades and all. That's ISUPK wear. That's what that is, right? Oh, okay. I'm like, yo, this brother is all at the slavery, all on his joint. So a customer walk in, they gonna hear this truth. He had the ISUPK wear. All right, no sweat. Anybody else got questions? Go ahead and put them in the chat. All right, and let's go ahead and get it in. Let's go to Exodus, chapter 21.
Come.
Boom. Boom.
Exodus 1. Itazar, can you read? Can you read 1 through 5 for me?
If I get a few minutes, sir, I'm just finishing up setting up this stream.
All right, no sweat. Just go ahead and Lewis, if you could read, go ahead. They got it set up where you can read.
Come, sir. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 1. Now these are the judgments that thou shalt set before them. Verse 2. If thou buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th year he shall go out free for nothing. Verse 3. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. And if he were married, then he shall go out, then his wife shall go out with him. Verse 4. If his master has given him a wife, and she have borne him sons and daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself. Verse 5. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free.
All right, so here's the thing that we dealing with right here. Most of the time when you see Israelites, right, and you see in the Bible, because of the blatant disrespect for the Lord and justice and human rights and all of this thing, when we see servants, we automatically think of the slavery that our oppressor put on us. We always think of, when we see it, like servants, it's always got to be, you know what I'm saying, the way that our oppressor did us in slavery. However, in any event, there are people who have and there are people who don't have. Right now, you know what I'm saying, at your slavery or whatever the case may be, there's probably somebody on it. Unless you work for yourself, there's probably somebody there that can buy 5 or 6 times what you got. In other words, what I mean is whatever they paying you, they can pay somebody else the same thing, 2, 3 other people, 5 people, depending on how big the organization. Sometimes 100 people, 1,000 people. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the city or the state or the country, depending on how big of an operation. For instance, the slavery I work for is, you know what I'm saying, hundreds of buildings like my building with about, 8 to 10 people that's employed by one individual or one organization. Everybody understand what I'm saying, right? For instance, we look at the NFL. The NFL will say, Lamar Jackson got a $40 million contract. So Lamar Jackson, who plays for one team out of 28 teams, got a $40 million contract. And maybe the brother that makes the least amount on the team, he probably make $300,000 a year. Y'all get what I'm saying? So this devil that owns the team owns Lamar Jackson and the brother that makes $300,000 a year and everybody in between. He has enough money to pay them to do a service for him so he can make money. All right? That's servitude. Servants nowadays are called employees. It's just that simple. And it's not a bad thing. Why? Because Lamar Jackson is happy with his $40 million. The brother that's making $300,000, he may want to make more money, but he's living pretty good with that $300,000. You may make $70,000 or $30,000 a year, but whatever it is, it gives you the whatever you need to pay your bills and so on and so forth. So you ain't looking at it like it's such a bad thing. The reason why we look at slavery as a bad thing is because of the devastating things that our oppressor did to us during that time. But servitude exists in every facet of life. There's always people who are on the top, who are ruling, and then there's always people who are serving. Once we grasp that, then we have to understand ownership. Possessions. When somebody who owns a company, like let's say if Nishak owned his own company, majority of black-owned businesses, you have about 2 employees in that building. I mean, in that business, it's usually the person who owns it, and they might have a spouse or one other person helping them. That's majority of black-owned businesses. But when you have a person in a position, I know y'all think I'm tripping right now, but I'm on topic. Trust me. Just follow me. Just walk with me. If you got a person that says, I got 500 employees at my business, right? Those 500 employees have to report to that person, do what he say, and in exchange, they get to pay their bills and eat and feed their kids and go on trips and get a vacation, so on and so forth, right? Servitude. We don't look at it like that. You got that good job, you making 60, 70,000 a year at the hospital, you working for the hospital, you are serving them. It's time away from your kids, away from your husband, away from your wife in order to make ends meet. This is the same thing going on in the Bible. All right? It's called a servant. I'm going to serve you for 6 years in exchange for whatever I want. A brother said he was going to serve a brother 7 years as a dowry for his daughter. It's what it is. All right. Why? My daughter is valuable to me. In order for her to become yours, you have to serve me for 7 years, and then she'll be yours. It's a high price to pay. But if she bad enough, brother will do it. All right? Brothers do it all the time. They got a 30-year loan to pay off that Maserati that they got so that they can go get a woman who's a trophy, who's going to only want him for the Maserati, so he's going to have to spend more money in order to get her. It don't change. Here's the bottom line of what I'm talking about. Right here in Exodus, if we go to Exodus 21:1, these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy a Hebrew servant. Now, did they just go off the coast of Africa and round them up, that all the people in Port Loco or any of the slave ports in Africa that the white man exchanged for guns? Is that what they talking about by buy a Hebrew servant? No. They talking about what they would call indentured servitude, or something where it's in exchange for something and they already know what the fees are. 6 years can he serve. The Lord is putting a limit on it. Why only 6 years? In that 7th year, there will be the 7th day. It's a day of rest. It's a jubilee. It's a forgiving. It's all of these different things, whatever word you want to use. And in that 7 days, shall go out free for nothing. All right. He did what I needed him to do for 6 years. I'm not going to work this brother this 7th year. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. And if he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. So now he in this, right? The master in this percent, I'm using that word. If he did not own the woman when the brother became a servant, don't that sound crazy to y'all? Y'all, that don't sound crazy? Not owned woman. I know it's some women cringing at that. It ain't my thing. This is in the Bible. This is something that happens. People are servants and become property. That was my whole point in going through all of that employees thing. They own you. You know why? Because if you don't get up and go to work tomorrow, you don't get to pay your bills. You don't eat. You don't get to take your woman out. You don't get to do nothing. Y'all got me, right? All right, cool. If he came in and he had a wife already, when that 6 years is over and he goes out, then his wife goes with him. If he came in by himself, this is verse 4, if the master have given him a wife, meaning the 6 years he was there, he met a sister that was also in servitude to that master, right? He married her. What is marriage? You see it right here. Giving him a wife, and she have borne him sons and daughters. The wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself. This is what you got to understand. Property is something valuable. The Bible likens a woman as a something that's valuable far above rubies. A good woman, right? The price is far above. Who can even find her, right? So now, if a man has a woman, he gaineth a possession. This is the reason why, and even in a modern marriage, the daddy walks his wife walks his daughter down the aisle and hands her to her new owner. It is his responsibility now to take care of her, to make sure where there is no hedge, the possession is spoiled. Right? All right. So now this brother have gotten a wife and children while he's under the authority of somebody else. And that other person belongs to him too. You can't just be like, I'm going to take me and my wife and my kids and we're going to get up out of here. You ain't paid him no dowry. You ain't made no deal with him. He just allowed you to marry a woman that was his property. So she's still his.
Right.
All right, you following me, Lewis?
Sir.
All right, good. And if the servant shall, hold on, in verse 4, if he have married and she have borne him sons and daughters, and the wife and the children are the master, then he shall go out by himself, lead him. And if the servant shall say plainly, I love my master, or my wife, and my children, I will not go free, then he can go ahead and stay. All right, and he'll serve him forever, because the things that he's gained for working for this brother, right, he has chose to keep rather than go out. Now, your question was, Rachel and Leah had maid or handmaids, right?
Sir.
They gave them to their husband. The question was, did they still belong to Rachel and Leah after their Otawan, their master, their Lord, who is their husband, married them? Is that what you're asking?
Sir, I'm asking. Yes, I'm asking the children of Bilhah and Zilpah would in that day would they be considered Rachel and Leah's children instead of
who do Rachel and Leah belong to?
Rachel and Leah were the daughters of were Jacob's cousins, and then the two sisters.
Let me ask it again. Who did Rachel and Leah belong to?
To Jacob, sir.
Okay, so who's the master in this case?
Jacob, sir.
All right. So if Rachel and Leah belong to Jacob, who did their handmaids belong to?
To Jacob, sir.
It was all his. Now, let's say if Jacob and Rachel and Leah were still who is it, Laban?
Sir.
If they were still Laban's daughters, Jacob didn't own them, and then he married them prior to that. Then that falls under the same lines as the law that says if a man entice a maid and marry her, then he must give her father, who would be the owner, or her owner, the dowry of virgin, so on and so forth. You must endow her to be your wife because you done took her. That's not what happened in that instance. In that instance, he already owned the women as far as they were his women, and they decided that maybe my husband needs another wife, and they brought them to him to give to them, but it was all his. It was basically his handmaids, except for he didn't need a handmaid. He just needed wives. If that's a way for you to understand it better.
Come on, sir.
All right. Did I answer your question, or was it more to it?
My question is answered, sir.
Salaki.
All right, go ahead.
Can I give a preset?
Yeah, if you like. What you got?
Book of Proverbs 18 and 22.
Let me see what it say. Proverbs 18 and 22. What it say?
It says, whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing. Oh, it's lucky. It's not the one I was talking about.
Yeah, you looking for the one in the Apocrypha. Gaineth a possession is what you want to look up. Help like unto himself. It's probably Ecclesiastes 26 or 36. Ecclesiastes is 36 and 24. Read 25 too. You got it?
Yeah. You said Ecclesiasticus 25.
Yeah, 36 and 24.
36. All right. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36, verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself.
So, like, look at that. Right there is when you get a wife, all right. So I know this sounds crazy to the black people, because in the black community, a woman will tell her husband, "You ain't my damn daddy. You don't tell me what to do," and then go to the man that owns her while she's on the clock and say, "Yes, sir." Let me translate it in Hebrew. She'll go to her job and say, "Khan Adawan," but she won't say that to her husband. Her slave master owns her in her head because it's about money. But according to the Bible, your husband is your owner, and ain't nothing wrong with that, because that means it's his responsibility to take care of you, right? He that getteth a wife beginning is a possession, a help like unto himself. And what does that last part say?
And a pillar of rest.
And a pillar of headaches.
A pillar of rest.
A pillar of rest. She's supposed to be a help like unto yourself. Be very careful with the women you choose to be your wife. All right? And don't get mad at me if you make the decision to get a pillar of headaches as opposed to a pillar of rest. It ain't my fault. Get some counsel before you get married. Verse 25, let's go.
Okay. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled.
That's the point right there. You got to put a hedge of protection around your woman. You know how many demons we dealing with as men in the truth? You know how many people think you crazy because you've chosen to forego getting high and chasing hoes and trying to get money to actually try to serve and please the Lord? You know how crazy you look to people? You need a hedge of protection around you for all the demons that's trying to get you up out of here. Now just imagine your real, the weaker vessel. Somebody who's more emotional and less logical. It's your job to protect her. You done got that possession. Niggas want to beat their chest. I own you, woman. Do what I tell you to do. And you better do your job and place a hedge of protection around that woman. That's what the Bible is saying. Niggas will read 24 and won't read 25. It's supposed to be a good thing. Marriage is a good thing, y'all, if done correctly. A help like unto yourself and a pillar of rest. Where there is no possession, though, no hedge, that possession will be spoiled. Slakia. Keep going.
And he that hath no wife will wander Up and down, morning.
All right, and look, without a wife, once she leave, or once you got to get rid of her, or once another brother has her, you're gonna feel some type of way about that. Once you ain't got no help, you're gonna feel some type of way about that. Once you sleeping by yourself, and what the Bible say now, I ain't say that. Some brothers don't care. You know what I'm saying? I ain't like that. Anyways, did I answer the question? That was a good pre-sale answer. Did I answer the question, Lewis? All right, no sweat. So Trooper of mine, this is what I want you to do. Once this class is over, go ahead and text me Revelations 11 and 3, and the question of who the witnesses are, and I'll get that answer for you. I completely forgot about it, Salaki. All right. Don't put the question up there. I ain't about to answer it. You're making me look bad. No, I'm just joking.
Anyway,
I could make up something like niggas on Clubhouse be doing, but that we don't do that. Yeah. See, the two witnesses is let's get to the next question. Y'all ain't got no questions over there. Anybody got a question over there in the class?
Salakia.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like the topic you just went over, what was it? When Jacob,
you're talking about who a woman belonging to a man and who's belonging.
No, like when the brother was saying that, right? Because when Rebecca, she gave her when she thought she couldn't have no children, she gave her handmaid to her husband. You know what I mean? Like
Abraham,
that's
yeah.
Con. You know what I mean? Like it's all in the same spirit. Back then, these women, they were in the right spirit. I mean, like it was the spirit that was on the sisters was different because they would give their servant to their husband, which was their husband's servant. You know what I mean? Just so they can have.
Okay, let me elaborate on that a little bit, if you don't mind, the shop. Okay, these women were servants of the house, right? However, the handmaid's job was to pretty much wait on the wife or the woman. That was her job. She didn't have no dealings with the husband like that because her job wasn't to wait on him.
Right.
Y'all understand? When it says gave her handmaid to them, they specifically talking about for a specific purpose that they giving them to them.
Right.
When she's bringing you her handmaid, she ain't saying so she can wash your clothes and do your cooking and all of this other stuff. That's not what they brought her to him for. They brought her to him saying she is a good maid. She serves me.
Right.
She might be good to serve you as well and maybe produce you some children. That's what they bringing him to him for. All right, so he already owns her in that position, in that regard, but she doesn't serve him. She serves his wife. And the wife saying she is special. Instead of her just being a servant, she should be a concubine, meaning a wife to you. As I am, in more so of a servant position, but still a wife, meaning like you have a responsibility back to her. All right. That's a good point. That's a good point, Nishad. Let's see. Officer Yawasop say, Salakia, can I get scriptures and breakdown that show fringes are for your garment and not a t-shirt or a hoodie? All right, so check this out. Fringes on a t-shirt is not unlawful. It's just gay. All right. It's not unlawful at all to put fringes on a t-shirt. It's not going to say it because when that law was given, Israelites wore Israelite apparel. They wasn't wearing Americanized or English apparel, which would be a shirt in the form you see it right now, right? You'll see brothers wearing shirts, pants in the form that you see it right now. The garments that we wore are similar to the garments that we have. You'll see at the Passover. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Now, the reason why we in ISUPK, like, let's go ahead and go to the Bible. Fringes.
I got it.
You got it?
It's the book of Numbers 15.
Numbers 15, 37.
38.
Give me 15 and 37. Give me Deuteronomy 22. Let me get Deuteronomy 22 and 12 first. And then the numbers, the one in Numbers. Yeah.
I got a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So is it a law that you wear fringes? Meaning,
yeah, we about to read it.
So if I may, meaning if you don't wear fringes, you're sinning.
Yeah, let's read it. I'll give you a yes or no after we explain it. All right, because it ain't that simple. Where you at? Deuteronomy.
I got Numbers.
Oh, you got Numbers? Ain't you? Anybody else there can read Deuteronomy 22 and 12?
God, sir.
Yeah, let me get Deuteronomy 22 and hey, give me verse 9, verse 9.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 9. Thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds, lest the fruit of thy seed which thou hast sown, and the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled. Verse 10.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds, lest the fruit of thy seed which thou hast sown and the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled. What does that mean?
Salakia, sir.
Nope. Let me see if one of the brothers want to answer.
God, sir.
Salakia, sir. If I could,
Yeah,
right?
go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 9. Thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds, lest the fruit of thy seeds which thou hast sown, and the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled.
All right, I asked the wrong question. Let me ask this question first. What does it mean to sow the seeds of your vineyard with diverse seeds?
It's like it, sir. I was going to say to mingle with other nations or make marriages with other nations.
Spiritually, you're right, but literally, what does that mean?
It means like you have literally different seeds, like different plants that grow that you're planting into the ground.
Go ahead, Louis. Go ahead.
It is when you cannot sow, say, grapes that you eat and grapes that is made for wine. You cannot sow them together in one vineyard.
Correct. You also don't want to put, I don't know, just for the sake of how we do it now. You don't want to put kale and collard greens and take the seeds and just throw them all like they all together and just throw them out. You want to have it designated that this is for these grapes, right? This is for this cabbage or this pumpkin or whatever the hell it is, and you want to put it where it's separated. In other words, the Lord ain't even want the seeds of the ground to intermingle or mix. Right? That's what he's saying. Don't just take a whole bunch of seeds and throw them out there in the dirt. He wants you to separate these things. Now, did he not say the same thing about men? That's why I was saying spiritually, you're right, Itazal. He didn't want seeds intermingling. At one point, he didn't even want you to go outside of your tribe, much less outside of your nation. You understand, right? And the reason why is because at that particular time, the tribe of Benjamin, the tribe of Benjamin and the tribe of Manasseh had two different inheritance. The land of Manasseh was here, and that tribe was to inherit that land, and the land of Benjamin was here, and that tribe. So if we marry it, now we got a problem because the sister that's supposed to be in Manasseh is now going to inherit, or her husband, who is Benjamin. Now we got to see how that works. Everybody understand, right? So now, for this particular thing that we read now in Deuteronomy 22, he's telling you that not to mix seed. When you planting seeds, don't just throw them all out. You got to have some type of order, form. This is where I want, like the brother said, this is where I want the. Well, I got to use these French names because I don't know what they call in the Bible. This is where I want the Cabernet Sauvignon seeds for the Cabernet wine, and this is where I want the they got some grapes now called cotton candy grapes, nigga. I want the cotton candy grapes over here that we gonna eat.
No, you right. I just told you about that.
Hey, yo, give me mine. Give me mine genetically modified. I'll take it all day, man. If the grapes gonna taste like cotton candy once y'all make it up on the computer, I'll take them all day. If the chicken's gonna be 3 times the size of regular chickens, go ahead and give them the Kazakh. I'll take it. All right. I'm joking. But at the same time, this is what he's saying. Separate these things so that you know this is a certain thing. Else, you're gonna end up with something like what we call. Which one they say? Is it cabbage? They say cabbage didn't exist. Some of this stuff we eat now, broccoli. That's it. Broccoli. You'll end up with something like broccoli. It don't fit in no category. It's not a leafy green vegetable. It ain't this. And that's what he means by it'll be tainted, or it'll be what was the word that they use in the scripture?
Defiled.
Verse 9. Defiled. That's right. It don't mean that like you can't sell it to nobody in the law if it's all mixed up. That's the point. And the reason why I took you here is for me to show you something, right? This applies to us, but it don't apply to us because we don't have no damn vineyard. Okay. We don't have no vineyard. How you gonna keep this law right here? You cannot keep it. You're not in your land. You don't have land. You don't plant no seeds. And you got to buy seeds. This is not something that would pertain to us in the way that is presented. But spiritually, it does pertain to us. When we get a vineyard, this is how you should do it. All right? Go ahead and keep going. Verse 10.
Verse 10. Thou shalt not plow with an ox and an ass together.
Y'all see how much of a separatist our God is?
Sir.
Don't put 2 different animals on your plow. This ox don't want to rock with this ass, dog. This donkey is going to get on this ox nerve. Nigga, you is not as strong as me. I am a ox. You use that donkey to pull your carriage or whatever he going to do as a donkey. Do not tag him up with no ox. Separate. Now, these last 2 different things is talking about the same thing. Verse 9 and verse 10 is talking about separating one thing from another. That's what it's talking about. Y'all get it, right? 22 and 11. Go ahead.
Sir. Verse 11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as woolen and linen together.
Our God's so racist. Our God don't even want you to mix two different sorts, like wool and linen together. Separate it. Let me know if I'm getting a garment made with wool or linen. Now, we do it all the time. Now, are we breaking this law? Why not?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
It's the spirit of it. It's like this law was meant to keep people from, as they call it, chipping you, or as we call it today, jeering you.
Yeah, right. You don't want to sell somebody some kind of thing that's supposed to be kale, but it's broccoli. It's mixed with all kind of stuff. It's cabbage. You know what I'm saying? You're not selling the real thing. These is not collard greens. These is not real grapes. I don't know what they are, but you're selling it as that. This is not real leather. Right? That's what it is. Now, if the whole point is separating, now how in the world we get to verse 12? Go to verse 12.
Verse 12. Thou shalt make fringes upon the four quarters of thy vesture, wherewith thou coverest thyself.
Now, why is that there in the context? What's the point?
Slack, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, it is.
Somebody said Salakia before you. Who is that?
It was Officer Nashak.
Oh, all right. Yeah, go. You could go before Nashak.
Come, sir. It is. It's almost saying like this is the type of garment you have, only of wool, and in the next verse, that wool garment must have fringes as well.
Why? Why does it have fringes on it? Anybody know?
Slack, sir.
Go ahead.
So you'll remember these laws that was just laid down.
Man, come on, man. You trying to cheat. That ain't the answer. That's not the answer. It's not the answer I want. Anybody else? You're right. Hey, listen, the shop. You're right. But that's not the answer I'm looking for.
Salakia, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it to separate this garment from other garments?
To separate this garment from other garments. Ain't nobody else doing this. The Egyptians ain't doing this. The Japanese people ain't doing this. You feel me? Moab ain't doing this. I ain't tell them to do it. I told you to do it. This separates you from everybody else. What separates Israel from everybody else?
Salakia.
Go ahead.
The laws.
The laws. That's it. In Amos chapter 9, the Lord say, aren't you as the Ethiopians to me? Ain't nothing no different from you and a Hamite, or you besides the law, statutes, and commandments that was given to you. The Lord chose you, put his name on you, gave you his laws. That's what makes you better. That's why when you break them, you are a Gentile. You are a heathen.
Come.
Y'all following me, right? This is only done to separate you from everybody else. Now let's go to what Nashak was talking about, and I'll show it to you. Let's walk. Let's walk. What is it? Numbers, I thought? You in Numbers, I thought? Huh?
Numbers 15.
Numbers 15. Let me get there. What verse?
37.
Let's go there. Numbers chapter 15, verse 37. Lego.
Lego.
The book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 37. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations. And that they put up upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
All right. So now, is Numbers the law? Is the book of Numbers the law?
Yes. The book of
There
Numbers.
are laws in the book of Numbers, but the book of Numbers is about the story about most of the laws are going to be in Leviticus, Deuteronomy. Numbers has something, but majority of this is when we getting ready to go into the land and the Lord preparing. So yeah, you will get some laws there. But this law right here ain't no different than the law that we just read in Deuteronomy. It's not specifying something separate. It's telling them to do the same thing, right? It's adding to it, though, the ribbon of blue. It ain't say that in Deuteronomy. Keep going. Verse 39.
Come. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord.
That you may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord. Who did God give his commandments to?
To Israel.
Did he give them to anybody else?
Law, sir.
These fringes should remind you that the Lord separated you from everybody else, that you're better than everybody else, and that you have rules to follow that everybody else don't have. This is what the fringe reminds you of. You are an Israelite, right? That's what the fringe is for, to remind you that you're an Israelite, that you have commands that the Lord gave you. Keep going.
And that ye seek not, and do them.
And do them. So you will remember the commandments and do them. So the fringes have a purpose. Go ahead.
And that ye seek not after your own heart.
That you don't do whatever comes to your mind, but you do what the Lord say to do. That's what the point of the fringes is. To remind you that you are separate. You're not like everybody else. You have different rules to live by. And to remind you to do them. And to not do whatever come to your mind. Go ahead.
And your own eyes, after which ye use to go horn.
After these things that you use to go horn. Go ahead to verse 40 real quick.
Verse 40. That ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your power.
That you may be holy unto your power. What does that word holy mean?
Salakia, sir, separate.
Okay. So should I be wearing fringes and eating pork? Is the fringes helping me if I'm wearing fringes and smoking a Newport? I'm just like everybody else. If I'm wearing fringes and throwing my wife away after I get done, I got what I want. I don't need her. Let her go. Right? The fringes ain't making you no different than the heathens and the Gentiles. Then those fringes are for nothing. They ain't reminding you of doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. Now, let's say if I am separate and I am not sinning against God, and I just remember the laws and I ain't got no fringes on and I'm doing them. Which one is better? Go ahead.
Doing the law.
Doing the law. This particular law was put in place to remind you that you're different from everybody else on the planet, that you're separate. Just like them grapes that we was talking about supposed to be separate, the ones for wine and the ones for eating, just like those vegetables are supposed to be separate, you are supposed to be separate. The whole point of that law is for you to be holy, for you to be separated unto the Most High. That's the point. You can go ahead and read 41 since that's the last one. Read 40 again, though.
Come. Verse 40. That ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your power.
That's the point of the fringes. Keep going.
I am the Most High, your power. which brought you out of the land of Egypt
Mm-hmm.
to be your power.
Mm-hmm.
I am the Lord, your power.
I am Yahweh, your power. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 4 real quick. Let's go back a little bit. Deuteronomy chapter 4. Give me 1 second. Let's see where I want to go at. Shoot. Hold on. Deuteronomy chapter 4. What is it? Six in the shop. You know what I want, right? I don't pull nothing but 3 precepts. Boy, pull the same precepts every
Verse
time.
6. We can start at
Go ahead and give me verse 5.
Colonel Khan, sir. The
Give me
book of
verse
Deuteronomy.
4. All right, here we go. Itazar. Give me verse 4. I ain't going no further.
Colonel Khan. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 4.
Yep.
But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you this day.
So the people that cleaved to the Lord lived. People that didn't, they was destroyed. All right. Go ahead to verse 5.
Colonel Khan. Verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me.
Yeah.
That ye should do so in the land, whether ye go to possess it.
So now look, check this out, right? Remember, I was just talking about these commandments, right? If the fringes is there to remind you of the commands which separate you from everybody else, right? This is what he's talking about now. These same commands that Moses have taught, that the Lord told him to tell you. He's saying when you go into this other land around all these other people, you go in, you own it. Own it. Give me verse 6.
Colonel Khan. Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 6. Keep, therefore, and do them. For this is the wisdom in your understanding in the sight of the nations.
In the sight of who?
Of the nations.
In the sight of the nations. Remember, I was saying this is what separates you from every other people, every other nation. This is what makes you holy. This is what makes you different. If you keeping Christmas and serving Nimrod like everybody else, what makes you different? See, niggas think because we say you Israelites, that means you ain't got to do nothing. Oh, I'm an Israelite. I'm better than that. No, nigga, you just like everybody else. If you ain't keeping the law, statutes, and commandments that the Lord gave Israel, then you're just like everybody else. You eat pork and shrimp and crab and lobster and everything else like everybody else. You sleep with the same whores everybody else sleeps with. You sell drugs to your people just like everybody else. You're going to die like everybody else.
Right.
The Lord don't care about you just like he don't care about everybody else. Right. You hear me? But the people that survived, that cleaved unto the Lord, these are the people who was given the wisdom and understanding in the sight of the other people.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a clear distinction between you and a Hamite, you and an Edomite, you and a what's the other one? Moabite, right? There has to be a clear distinction so that they know you're not them. Don't be afraid to make them uncomfortable by you not being like them, especially at your slavery. America has given you the freedom of religion. Police told me the other day downtown Orlando. He said you have the freedom of speech. That's what he told me. He was just checking to see if we went through all the rules about having the loudspeaker permit. I'm just checking. You got the freedom of speech. Y'all can speak as loud as you want. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say down here, long as you abide by the other rules. The Constitution tells you that you have the freedom of religion. Well, my guy had just happened to say that the white man is the devil. The Bible speaks. So like it. He happened to say I'm better than everybody else if I keep his laws, statutes, and commandments and I do what he said to do. All right. This is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nation. Keep going.
If I may,
yeah.
I just wanted to, address that. Like, it's so heavy what you're saying. It's like
you kind of low to me. I don't know if you low or you just low to me. Speak up. Say it with your chest. What you were saying?
No, I was just saying, it's heavy what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like we the freedom of religion, like this. So for us to have, what I'm saying, we don't consider religion, but what I mean, our so-called religion requires, what I'm saying, that we wear the fringes. You know what I'm saying? We don't eat what everybody else eat, and we are better than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And it's like everybody else's religion has that freedom. Everybody else's religion has the right to say, this is my God. My God cares about us. You know what I'm saying? My God wants us to live this certain way. And he doesn't care what everybody else does. I don't understand how every other nation got that right or ability. But when you say it to a Hebrew Israelite, when you say you in the Isupk, you're a criminal.
I'm gonna tell you what it is, Itazal, on what you're saying. The Bible just happens to go against everything that America stands for. They talking about inclusion and everybody coming together. That's what they saying, right? They talking about inclusion and everybody coming together. Hold on, let me show y'all something. What the Bible talks about is something different. What we just read in Deuteronomy was what? He was talking about separating this. And then what's the first thing you said? You was like, you know what? It's talking about not mixing with the other nations. Behind that, even though he was talking about, like the brother Lewis. You feel what I'm saying? Like the Lord been saying the same thing forever. I don't know if y'all ever went to camp with me. Anytime, anybody who has know that I only do one or two things at camp. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the same thing, and that's separation. Why? Because it fits everything. George Floyd get killed, it's time to separate. America is talking about inclusion. It's time to separate. They want you to vote. It's time to separate. No matter what's going on, separation is it. That's the point. Y'all get that, right? Exodus 33 and 6. Whoever's reading that, I want you to hold it. Exodus 33 and 16. Kanak, you in the building?
Come on, sir. Y'all about some Shabrak thumb.
What's going on, Hebrew? It's Trooper Kanak, man. That's a bad man right there. Hey, are you in a position to read?
Another one, card.
All right, can you read Exodus 33 and 16? Let me show y'all how much the Bible goes against America and what they trying to do, right? Y'all remember the Tower of Babel, right? What was the whole point of the Tower of Babel? Y'all with me? Y'all with me? Louis the only one active?
No, I was gonna say I was waiting for
Come on in, man.
He's smarter in the room.
Come on, man. Golly. I'm trying. Listen, for the record, I'm trying not to like Lewis. Y'all not giving me a choice.
God.
I'm gonna have to let my guard down on you, Lewis, man. Dang. No, I'm joking, of course. I'm joking, of course. All right.
Now, Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the whole thing with the Tower of Babel was just like America. One nation, all people is one nation under God. You know what I mean? Like
it was like that in Greece. It was like that in Greece. Hey, is that my brother Thumma Young right there? Is he available? Thumma Young, you can you be heard? Can you be heard? Maybe not. We'll get that together. But I was about to say, you there, Thumma Young?
Khan, sir.
Oh, okay. You gotta what you gotta do is mute the click out of the YouTube.
Yeah, he got two.
Or you're gonna get an echo. And just listen directly through the StreamYard.
Khan, sir.
All right, no sweat. You can mute up till you get that squared away. I just want to make sure you can hear. Now, you got that scripture for me?
So you said 33 and 16?
Hey, I'm gonna mute you, Thumma Young, till you get that together. Yeah, I said 33 and 16.
The book of Exodus, chapter 33, verse 16. For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight?
At this moment, it should be known that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight. That's a question. So from wherein shall it be known? Like, where shall it be known that me and your people? How shall it be known that me and your people have found grace in your sight? Go ahead.
Come. Is it not in that thou goest with us?
The reason why they gonna know that we found grace in your sight, is it not because you go with us? Because the Lord, you with us? Go ahead.
So shall we be separated?
So shall we be brought together.
Separated?
So shall we be separated. What does holy mean? Separate. The Lord told you to be holy. Wear these fringes so it can remind you to be holy. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. That's Amos chapter 3. He has showed his statutes and his judgments to Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. That's Psalms 147. These are all milk scriptures. We can go through them and I can show you how the Lord was telling you to be separate. Deuteronomy 7, he told you all of this. In Exodus, they saying, is this not why? Because you with us that people shall know, and so shall we be separated. Keep going.
I and thy people from all the people that are upon the face of the earth.
Now you see what I was talking about? Now, when we read that first one about the fringes, now I know y'all was ain't know we was gonna go this far with the fringes, right? I answered the question. No, it's not against the law. It's just gay. That was the answer, right? Now we rocking with it. Let's keep going with it. Know what I'm saying? The point of it. What is the point? Everything. This is what Captain Troy y'all has told me, right? This is how I was raised. Everything is spiritual, even those things you do in the physical. If you a whore, right? Physically, you go and have sex with different men. That's spiritual. If you're a homosexual, physically, you go and have sex with different men. It's like it. That's spiritual. if you are a drug addict, an alcoholic, these are all things you do physically, but physically, spiritually, something is wrong with you. Spiritually. Y'all with me or no? Have I lost y'all?
Sir. Come.
If you want to be a part of America and you do the things that America do, spiritually, something is wrong with you. Because it says right here in Exodus 33, this is how the Lord is going to, this is how people going to know that we found grace. This is how people going to know that you with us, is that we be separated, I and thy people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth. Deuteronomy 7:6 say the same thing. Be ye holy. The Lord have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, right? That's what this is all about, y'all. The fringes, the law, everything is about us being brought up out. Just like Abraham was a part of his father's people, Abram.
Right.
He pulled that nigga out, changed his name, and said, I'm going to make another nation out of you. You can go be like your dad and them if you want to. Remember what it says, choose ye this day whom you'll serve, me or the gods that your father them served on the other side of the flood. This tells you that even Noah was being separated from his people. Adam was separated. He pulled him out the dust of the ground and gave him laws to live by. Hey, no, you can't do that no more. You can't do that, what they doing. You got to do what I'm telling you to do. Right. The fringes are to remind you that you can't do that no more. Do what I'm telling you to do. Y'all get it, right?
Colonel Salaka, sir, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
The water, sir. So, what you're saying is heavy because, it's about the separation. And in the verse that you read, it said that this would be the what was it? The knowledge and the sight of the other nations, right?
Right. We going back to that, Nishak.
Oh, I just wanted to say something. I know.
Yeah, go ahead. Spoiler alert.
No. So it was. I'm just thinking back, like when the Most High brought us out of Egypt under Moses, and then also under Joseph, like he did certain miracles. You know what I'm saying? And it was in the sight of the other nations. Like we listened to our power, and we followed the laws that he gave us, and they saw it, and it made them fear us. It made us, you know what I'm saying? It was that thing that.
No, I was just gonna say, Nishak, on what you bringing out, that's heavy. That's the whole point of the Passover. When they firstborn of everybody in Egypt died, it was like, nah, we ain't messing with y'all. Y'all go ahead and do it. Y'all remember, the whole point was just so they could go out one day and serve their God.
Right.
That's the only thing they asked. Oh, you ain't gonna let me do it? The Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart so he can show him his power in the earth. I'm with these niggas right here. Don't mess with them. A dog better not even bark at you. Think about that. That's in the Bible. Y'all know that's in the Bible, right? A dog better not even bark at you.
Right.
Why? Is it because you so special? You did something so special? No, it's because the Lord is with you. Now, that being said, you and all his people shall separate yourself from all the people that's on the face of the earth. That's Exodus 33:16. Let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 4 and finish this up. And this is the point. The brother asked about fringes. Wearing fringes. If you wearing fringes and you keeping the customs of the other nations, then you fake. You're a hypocrite. Niggas got on a whole One West headpiece and everything and smoking a cigarette.
A Newport.
The Newport. Oh my bad, a Newport. Yeah, the cigarette. No, 305. That's the cigarettes niggas is smoking.
Oh, okay.
The 305.
So,
the whole point is you're supposed to look at them fringes and say, I can't be like everybody else. That's the point. It's supposed to remind you, you know what? I can't be like everybody else. Not that you smoking the 305, that you put the 305 out and never do it again because you're better than anybody else. It's supposed to remind you that you're supposed to be holy and be a part of this and be a part of. Let me just go ahead and read it out the Bible. We had Deuteronomy chapter 4, right?
Verse
6.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Let's read verse 6 again. The only thing that makes you different from everybody else on the earth is the laws. That's it. The fringes law was to make you remember to be different from everybody else on the earth. Everybody understand, right?
All
right, go ahead to verse 6.
Sir. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 6.
Was you the one reading it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, cannot read better than you. Cannot read better than you. You ready? You ready, cannot? Put your feet up. OG. Good night, man. You got a little bit of rank now. You know what I'm saying? Cannot want to earn a crown.
You said Deuteronomy 4?
Deuteronomy 4 and 6.
Come on, sir.
Cannot not really, bro. I would have preferred that in the shot like the shot was doing a great job if you ask me. You know?
Twins over there.
Yeah, I got a twin on here. He cutting up right there.
It's all right. I'm bigger than him.
Come on, sir. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore and do them.
Yep.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
That's the point, right? They should look at you like you different. You keep going. You know, we go through this all the time. What great nation is there so great? We have a God so nigh to them that the Lord our God is in them in all the things they call upon him for. And what nation is there so great? His statutes and judgments so righteous as this law, which I set before you this day. The fringes are to remind you to be separate. Remind you that the grape seeds for wine and the grape seeds for eating are different seeds. Remind you that this vegetable ain't supposed to cross-pollinate or mix with this vegetable. This flower ain't supposed to mix with this flower. This fruit ain't supposed to mix with this fruit. Or then you got some kind of tainted, or as the Bible say, defiled fruit. You not supposed to mix with the other nations. That's the whole point of the fringes, all right? I know I took a long way to say that. It was another whole precept I had. What was it? Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question.
It's on this topic right here?
I was just waiting for you to finish up the topic.
I'm never going to finish the topic, Kanat.
Well, I'm never going to get my answer.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure.
Come on, sir.
All right, the bottom line is the way you wear them. Oh, back to what the brother's question was. I know what it was. He was asking about the t-shirts, right? T-shirt is an American garment. It's an American undershirt. If you see that the shirt like what Isupk have on, it's an American outerwear, right? Outerwear is what you would wear at a formal event. T-shirts were what they wore up under their outerwear, right? So it would be no different like drawers. Drawers are made to be wear under the outerwear. The outerwear in America is pants, right? Everybody understand? So now, if we're wearing American wear, formal wear, you would put fringes on it. We put fringes on button-ups. We put fringes on jackets. We put fringes on pants, outerwear. We don't put fringes on tank tops and boxers and t-shirts. Socks and cars. All right. It's not against the law to do it. It's not against the law to do it. It's just not One West. It's not how we rock. All right. Hopefully I answered your question. Go ahead, Kanat.
Exactly. Okay. Now I got 3 questions. The
Go
first
right
question,
ahead.
okay, so like I'm just want to ask you a question on this. You said that putting fringes on t-shirt ain't against the law. Is that why the fake Israelites do it?
No, the
Because
fake
like just said,
Israelites do
like
it because they're gay.
con sir, I understand. So like, so what I'm saying, so if we
No,
like,
listen what I'm saying. No, it's not that. I'm gonna tell you what it is. We've been separated from our culture for thousands of years, right? What they are doing is just trying to put fringes on American garments that we wear every day. Brothers wear t-shirts all the time. We in America. They're just trying to put the fringes on it to try to come back to their culture, not realizing that it was more to it than just doing it. The whole
right.
point is to be separate. We like even cats. They run, the purple cats. They run up on people like, "Where your fringes at?" But I met a purple cat. I was at my slavery. He said, "Where your fringes at?" I'm like, nigga, this is my slave garment.
Right.
What you wanted me to wear it on my McDonald's uniform? You know, niggas be putting fringes on they what them is the construction vest they have. Niggas be putting fringes on their Burger King uniform because they believe that because it's in the law, they don't understand the spirit behind the law. Once again, this is what Captain Shawar taught me. Moses had the law written on talents, written, right? The words, the letters of the law. Christ gave the breakdown. This is spiritual, huh? This is spiritual. Because you can have on them in your Burger King uniform, you can have fringes on there and then walk out on your lunch break and smoke a blunt. They ain't reminded you to do a damn thing.
Right.
They ain't reminded you to do nothing.
Right.
So what's the point? It's more important that you remember to do the law even when you don't got fringes on. But there's supposed to be a constant reminder that you are different from everybody else. Nobody else ain't doing this. That's what it's supposed to be. Be separate. It said it. So you can be holy. The Lord chose you to be holy. You gonna make me go through it again? Do you got your answer, or do I need to keep going? Because I have more. And I got my brother Thumayum in here who remembers scriptures. I don't. I know what they say. Kanat, you there?
Salaki, I was on mute. Salaki.
Did I answer your question?
Con, sir. I was just
All right,
saying, like, you know, we can't go, like, since they not breaking the law, but it just ain't One West custom.
It ain't the Lord's custom either.
Con, I understand.
You can't conform to the ways of the United States of America without showing that you're separate. You know how people kind of laugh and have fun with the garments that we wear? We've been called Power Rangers, superheroes. That shows you that we're nothing like anybody else. To put fringes on your slave uniform and your t-shirt means you're still trying to be a part of America. You would never wear that outrageous stuff. Man, you know they was going off on Clubhouse for the brother that had the wolves on his garment. It started with them having fun, which to somebody in the world, I would understand why you would, have fun, laugh at it. That's fine. And it ended up with them niggas trying to say it was unlawful for him to wear. A wolf is not unclean. Now, y'all really think these real wolf head niggas, are y'all really serious? You can't do nothing that's against the church, or they're gonna try to say you sinning. That's what it is. So the point I'm trying to make is it's trying to add Israelite culture to American culture by putting fringes on t-shirts. To put it on an Israelite garment is the more proper way to do it, right? Even if you're going to do it, you wouldn't put it on underwear, which a t-shirt is. You would put it on outerwear. There have been brothers in the school that have wore fringes on the bottom of their t-shirt. They were young brothers in the truth. Eventually, you're going to want to separate yourself from fake Israelites as well, because you want to be holy. You want to be separated not only from the other nations, but even from Israelites who are not keeping the commandments. Yeah, I know. Y'all don't like that, huh? You don't like that. Take your black ass to a unity camp.
Go.
All right? They'll accept you with an open shalom. All right? All right? In here, we're separate. We're different, and it's on purpose. I got on a t-shirt right now. Ain't no fringes on it, but I do have on fringes. Ain't nothing wrong with it. We are in America. It's not against the law, but we don't do that in here. All right. That's the bottom line. We just trying to separate ourselves from the Christians in the church. And that's it. Canuck, did you get the answer, or you want me to go another on this? Because I can.
I know, sir. I just want to get these two questions out of the way, then we can hop back on topic.
Now Lewis got a question, and Lewis was in class first. No, I'm just joking. I was just joking. I don't like Lewis. Go ahead, Canuck.
I don't know that nigga either.
Hey, be careful though. He did leave me some bootleggers at the Passover. So he you know what I'm saying, he got to get on the good side. Go ahead, Canuck.
Okay, my first question.
Hey, look, hey, hold on. Hey, Canuck finally get to say that.
Yeah, hey, don't be mad when nobody else.
Yeah, man. Still find on the other side of the gate. It's like I'm almost sitting there.
As soon as he said it, hey, you see, as soon as he said it, I corrected him and took Lewis' side, right? You see that, right? You see that, right?
Yeah, I'm used to that. I'm used to it.
Like that. Hey, first of all, you got to get on Lewis like that. That's my brother. No, I'm joking. Go ahead, Canuck, man, with your question.
Left me hanging high and dry. Okay, sir. So like my first question is in Luke 23 and 34.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is in John 19 and 27. Okay.
23 and 34.
Fine, sir.
What's the question?
My question is, why is Yahushua asking the Most High to forgive the people? He said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." But they knew what they was doing. Is it something behind that they didn't know not what they do? Is what he's saying? Like they was trying to kill him. They knew they wanted to kill him. Yeah. So when he's saying, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do," is it another purpose behind that? Because I remember when I was saying the scripture in the other scripture is saying that one man should die for Israel. So did they know the whole full circle about what they was doing?
You talking about Caiaphas?
Yeah, when he said
is that the second scripture you had?
La'ah. That ain't the second question I got. That's the first question.
Okay.
The first question is in 34. I was asking, why did he say forgive them when they knew that they was killing Yahushua?
All right, so let's do this real quick. Let's do this. They didn't know what they was doing.
Mm-hmm.
but they knew they wanted to kill him.
But they ain't know why they was killing him.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. There's something else behind.
All right, let me show you. I'm gonna show you real quick. Give me John 11:48 real quick, and then we'll come back to your scripture. All right. I ain't moving the goalposts like they say on.
Right.
I asked you about Luke. All right, you got it.
Sir.
You got it. John 11:48. Give me a 47. John 11:47.
The book of John, chapter 11, verse 47. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles. Verse 48. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. And the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation.
So now, why did they want to kill him?
Lucky, because he said that all men will believe in him.
Isupk, you wanted to answer?
Sir, because they were gonna lose their spot in the kingdom, in Esau's kingdom.
That's correct. In the Roman kingdom, you got to remember these people were placed over the Lord's people under Rome, right? What they saying is, it's like a brother being a governor, a black man being a mayor or a governor, and some other black man coming in and making a lot of noise and healing and fixing the ghetto and doing more for the people than the nigga that's the governor or the pastor. You get it, Kana?
Yeah, sir. I get that part.
They wanted to kill him over jealousy. They wanted to kill him so that they would be able to remain the black leaders under Rome that was placed there. That's all they really cared about. They didn't understand the extent of what was really going on. They didn't know what they was doing. I'll give you another example. Remember, we was just talking about Pharaoh and when the firstborn of all the Egyptians happened, he was like, yeah, nah, y'all just go ahead. But at first, the scriptures say the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. But then in Romans, it says he raised up Pharaoh just so he could destroy him and show his might in the earth. What you have to understand is the Lord is pulling all the strings. The Lord sent Christ to redeem Israel. So what if they wouldn't have murdered him? You think they killed him so he can redeem Israel?
Sir. It's like if I can answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just a scenario. If they wouldn't have killed Yahushua, then I believe 70 AD would have happened a little sooner.
What you mean?
Like
that sound like a religion.
Well, I don't mean it like that because Christ prophesied that Israel would be destroyed by the Romans. So I figured that if he wouldn't have been, if they wouldn't have killed him, just hypothetically speaking, then everybody would have followed him. They wouldn't have been following the custom of the Romans no more. Then the Romans would have presented that they had a problem with the Jews.
We can't do that. We can't do that. If was a fifth, we can't do that with the Bible.
I said hypothetically speaking, not
we
saying
can't do hypotheticals, not in class. Now we can have this conversation after class or on Clubhouse or something like that. You could do that. In class, we got to teach what the Bible says. I'm telling you why they killed him. Right? This is why. And think about it. This is the same place that you was talking about. Read verse 48. No, I'm sorry. What you just read? 48?
47.
They gathered the chief priests and Pharisees and the council and said, "What do we do for if this man does many miracles?"
Oh,
You read
49.
48.
49. I'm on verse 49. Select.
All right, go ahead.
And one of them, Salaki, John chapter 40, Salaki, John chapter 11, verse 49. And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest the same year, said unto them, Ye know nothing at all.
What is he telling them?
Like y'all niggas don't know what the hell y'all talking about.
That's exactly what Christ was saying. That's what Christ was saying. They don't know what they doing. They just saying that they need to get rid of him because he doing miracles. Caiaphas knew. He had an idea like this ain't gonna go well. This ain't gonna go well. Caiaphas had a something going on where he telling them what's gonna happen, right? But they don't really get it when he's saying that. Go ahead and keep reading.
Okay. Verse 50. Nor consider that it is expendable.
No, expedient.
Expedient. So like expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole and that the whole nation perish not.
So that's what you was talking about? Was you talking about that statement right there?
Sir. So I guess like that one go hand in hand with the other one. Like I was just saying, like when your house try to say forgive them, they know not what they do. But here it clearly tell you that somebody knew what was going on.
Yeah, but he's not speaking the same thing that they speaking though. And he's saying this in a different way than what the understanding is. He's saying like it would be expedient for us, like that one man should have died and that the whole nation perish not. It's kind of like what you were saying. Now I kind of get what you're saying. You basically saying that if everybody starts to follow him, that the Romans would have destroyed Jerusalem faster. That's what you were saying?
Sir. That's right on the head. Like that's what I was saying.
I mean, we can that's what Caiaphas is saying, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if that's true or not. But what they came to the conclusion of is verse 50. Go ahead. No, verse 51.
Verse 51. And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahweh should die for that nation. Verse 52. And not for that nation alone, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God, it's like the children of the power that were scattered abroad.
Ooh-wee. That's a cut right there. Salvation for everybody. That's a cut. I'm gonna start using that. Anyways. So when he was speaking and saying that, then now he started to prophesy and realize what was going on, that this man would die, right? But he would not only die for the Jews that was in Jerusalem, but for God's people to be gathered that was scattered abroad. This was something that was supposed to bring the nation together. This is what Caiaphas prophesying, but you got to remember the other priest that was there had no clue. They just wanted to get rid of him for the sake of getting rid of him so that he can't take their spot. They thought he wanted to sit up under the Romans like they were sitting up under the Romans. They thought he wanted to be president of the United States when he wanted to be the king of the world. You see what I'm saying? So keep reading verse 52. No, verse 53.
Sir. Then from that day forth they took counsel together for to put him to death.
Go ahead and read verse 54 and we'll stop there.
Verse 54. Yahweh shall therefore walk no more openly among the Jews. but went thence into a country near to the wilderness, into a city called Ephraim, and there continued with his disciples.
So these were Jews trying to kill him for the fact that they didn't want to lose their seat, but they didn't understand what Caiaphas was talking about. Like that, it's expedient that if he come and clean up the people and get them to follow and keep the laws and start doing this, and the Lord move on their behalf, he gonna get killed, and they can still keep their seats. You understand?
Come, sir.
Now you get it?
Come, sir. I get it. It opened up as I kept reading.
Right. He was speaking to them, but he started prophesying to them. They ain't know what the hell he talking about. We just want the nigga gone so we don't lose our seats. That's it. Verse Luke chapter 23, right? You can read 33 and 34.
Come, sir. Luke chapter 23, verse 33. And then they were come into the place which is called Calvary. There they crucified him, and the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left. Then said Yahushua, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots.
Yeah. So this is here so that people will understand that Christ knew more than what they knew. That's the point of it. They didn't know what was going on, just like Pharaoh ain't know what was going on when he's like trying to kill the Israelites. He didn't know that trying to kill them was going to be one of the greatest things that he ever tried to do, because the Lord was going to be able to show his might through that. They didn't know that killing Christ was going to be one of the greatest things they can do, because the Lord was going to raise him up from the dead. Pause.
Come, sir.
Pause. You got quiet.
No, sir. I was on mute. Yeah, I get it. So like it all worked, like, you know, the Most High orchestrate everything.
That's the point you got to get.
Right.
Ain't that happened by accident.
Right. So with them thinking they doing something, really it just played out to what the Most High wanted anyway, to raise your house up to everything, so everything could be fulfilled.
Paul said, who have resisted his what did it say? Who have resisted the Lord's will? Nobody. Even your oppressor being on top right now is being allowed by the Most High. They think they doing something, but all they doing is writing the story of how the Lord deliver us out of their hands. They thought they was doing something, but all they doing is really doing the work that Lord said so he can show his might within the earth. That's all it means. It's not really that deep. You understand it or no?
Come, sir.
You sure?
Come, sir.
Oh, you kind of hesitated a little bit.
Nah, because sir. I'm over here. No, I got it. I was
all
just,
right, what's the
I
second
thought it
question? Real quick, because I only got about
okay, real quick, sir. My second question is in John chapter 19, verse 26 and 27. It reads, when Yahweh therefore
ask
saw
me
his...
the question.
Oh, what is the meaning behind it?
All right,
What
John
did he
19, 20. Go ahead.
Come, sir. When Yahweh therefore saw his mother and the disciples standing by, whom he loved, he said unto his mother, Woman, behold thy son. Then said he to the disciple, Behold thy mother. And from that hour the disciple took her into his own home. My question is, what is the meaning behind that, and what disciple was he talking about?
All right, you got to go up a little bit. Hold on. Go up to verse 23. Read from there.
John chapter 19, verse 23. Then the soldiers, when they had crucified Yahushua, took his garments and made 4 parts, to every soldier a part, and also his coat. Now the coat was without seam, woven from the top throughout. Verse 24. Then said they said therefore among themselves, let us not rent it, but cast lots for it, whose it shall be, that the scriptures may be fulfilled, which saith, they parteth my garment among them, and for my vesture they did cast lot. These things therefore the soldiers did.
Okay. So instead of tearing the lot, they saying we gonna do it. Well, they came up with the idea to do it in reference to like what David was saying in the Psalms, right? They're basically mocking the Jews. But go ahead.
Verse 25. Now therefore stood by the cross of Yahushua his mother, and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Cleophas, and Mary Magdalene.
That's a lot of Marys. Keep going.
When Yahushua therefore saw his mother and the disciples standing by, whom he loved, he said unto his mother, Woman, behold thy son. Then said he to the disciple, Behold thy mother. And from that hour, that disciple took his mother into his own home.
Oh, okay. All right, I get it. All right, so this is what's going on right there. It's basically when you die, right? Say if something happened to you. Me and Itazab and the Shock and Thumayum's job to make sure that your wife and your children are protected as your brothers, right? You understand?
It's like you said, say that one more time.
If something happened to you, it's our job to protect your family, to take care of your family as your brothers.
So it wasn't one of the 12.
It don't say who it was.
So it's not Cleophas?
No, it don't say who it was.
Sir.
All right. All right, I'm coming out. Yeah, it don't say who it was. It just says Cleophas' wife was there and Mary Magdalene. They was there. And then it said his disciple was there. He said to the disciple basically like, here go your mama, right? See what they doing to your son. And now you got to, you know what I'm saying, make sure to take care of my mama. That's really what he's saying. It's your mama now. We Christ right now. You the body. Know ye not that you are the body of Christ? You the one got to say Christ's words in the earth. You the ones got to do the will. You the one got to feed the homeless. You the one got to do what Christ did when he was alive. If you have not the spirit of Christ, he is none of yours. 1 John 2:5 said, he who said he's in Christ, he ought to do it what he did. He ought to walk as he walked. You get it or no?
So it's just like how niggas
of Christ become Christ at Christ's death. Now you are the body of Christ, and you got to take care of his mama. You got to take care of his wife, which is the church. You got to take care of his seed, which is the disciples.
Got it.
You got it?
Sir. Just like niggas.
I ain't gonna be here to watch over my mama. She ain't even in the truth. You gonna take care of her.
Right. Like look after my mama.
That's correct. And
like how when niggas be going
mama, look what's going on with your son. Basically, they murdering me. I'm giving my life for this nation, but they gonna take care of you.
Right. So yeah, okay, I got it. Just like okay, so it's just like this, like in today's reference, just like if like one of your best friends just so happen, God forbid, get killed. and you and the family, you now become her son that she lost, right? And she become your mother. Like you always go and you check on her and make sure she's
That's
straight.
correct. That's
And,
that's correct. That's correct.
Con, see. The waters.
All right. I don't know if they got some precepts they can give you, but I got to get out of here. So I can with that. Let me go ahead and salute out, and then I'll pass the class over to Nishak or Itazal. Who am I passing it over to? Itazal, sir. All right. Let me go ahead and give y'all a salute. I got to get out of here. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Shabakatham. Yahweh Shemar Alatham by Hashem Yahweh Shah. And I'm going to pass the class over to preaching officer Itazal.
That's all right. Go ahead with the announcement. Then we'll salute him again, but you know.
All right. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Jerry Yohanan. We're not affiliated with any so-called Israelite group. If it's not the Isupk, it's not the truth. Isupk security announcements for rules for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the head. Tithe, which is the commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. 10th in the Hebrew is Ma'ashur. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations. The Feast of First Fruits. You count down 50 days from the end of the unleavened bread, which would be
hold on.
Oh shoot.
No, I got you. Hold on. Just go ahead. Keep going. I got you.
Okay.
The Feast of First Fruits. Okay. The Feast of First Fruits starts after the Sabbath of unleavened bread. Sundown, April 9th, 2023. Count 50 days. Celebrate the 50th day. May, Monday, the 29th of 2023. Start before sundown. You can find that in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 10 through 22.
All right, so the next holy convocation will be May 29th, before sundown, the Feast of the First Fruit. All right. If anyone wants to become a trooper, start by wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headbands, or scarves. With that, I imagine. With Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers in the class. And with Israel, imagine Shabbat, imagine Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah. With Israel, sisters can stand. With Israel, we're going to give a salute to the sisters in the class. With Israel, imagine Shabbat, imagine Barak,
Yahweh Shema Hashem Yahshua.
All right, class is missed.